Alright, well this is going to be a little bit of an investigative video here. This is the Spyderco Shaman. This is a Knife Center exclusive, so it's got burlap micarta and S90V steel. And that's pretty interesting. This thing did give me a bit of troubles while I was trying to sharpen it. I certainly have it done now at the 15 degrees, and yeah, it's climbed up quite a bit on there, but it's also because the Shaman has really thick blade stock. We're talking like Tucson thick. Like this is probably close to 4 millimeters. But this thing has absolutely terrible action. And it came that way, which was fine. And I put in some KPL oil. That didn't really help. And then tried to back out some of the pivot screws here. Just even a little teensy bit ends up with way too much blade play back and forth. So that ain't gonna do it. So I want to look on the inside of this thing. Maybe there's something else going on here. There's I mean, the other compression lock that I have, the PM2, it's not exactly the absolute amazing sort of action that you can get off of some bronze washers, but this is also coated. So it kind of makes me think something's going funky on in here. So here we are. Let's see, T6 for the pocket screw, or the pocket clip. Gonna go slow on these because I have, in the past, chewed up a pocket clip screw from Spyderco before. I actually did that with Benchmade's little Torx kit. I honestly don't know if they still make them anymore. I know at one point they changed the little door that holds the bits into a clear plastic. Mine was just a single blue thing or whatever. And at the time I thought, hey, that's kind of neat. I should probably grab that for doing maintenance on knives. Not really knowing that they don't exactly use the best bits in the industry for any of their stuff there. All right, so there's that pivot screw. Yeah, I can lift that up. All right, so yeah, we got the bronze washers going on here. And that looks interesting. That looks like residue from the little washer there. So that kind of tells me that there might be a burr or something like that going on. Let's see, on the inside here, we do have the date these were made. So this was Christmas of last year. Something that I guess they started doing. I guess the first one that I'd noticed that they did that on was the Manix 2XL in CPM M4. I noticed that when I took that apart to put the titanium ball cage in there. But my original one absolutely didn't. No date code whatsoever. Okay, if this is like the Manix, though, yeah, Spydercos are a little strange in this particular way of, yeah, their pivots screw in from both sides. It's not a Chicago screw or a through hole sort of thing. And if I remember right, we do. You can basically just see it a little bit if I show it on the light. But yeah, there is a D shape, but it's only on one side. I don't know what the fuck that's about, but hey, that's the case. So, kind of my thought on some of that stuff is maybe there's a little bit of a Yeah, I'm not feeling much of kind of a jagged edge or something like that. That might be rubbing one of these washers the wrong way or something like that. Let's see, while I'm here, I might as well pull these guys out. Might as well evenly disturb the the thread locker that's on all of them. Okay, so yeah, this has got some oil there on the other side. That was most likely due to my first oiling attempt when I pulled it out of the box. It's a little interesting. You can see just a little tiny bit. This is obviously not interfacing with the blade at all, but there's a little bit of a burr going on there. Yeah, my thoughts in the past are these guys that have the pocket clip holes basically right here in the blade pivot area. You can have just a little bit of funkiness, as you can kind of see in this, that where that washer is, interfaces about halfway through all of those screws, all the way around. Let's take a look at the other liner here. Nope, we still have those screws in there. That was unfortunate. Okay, so at some point I'm going to have to try to find that screw. And Spyderco's pocket screws don't really use a high ferrous content, so they're not magnetic. So I shall have fun much later. Well, this is interesting. Obviously, the one that the side that the blade interfaces with, I don't really have too many problems there. But the other side of it, I got like another really large burr going on down there. And then just not super cleaned up on the other side of that. There's another large burr by a hole over there. It's a little sad and annoying from it being, not by much, but the most expensive knife that I currently own. It feels like there might be some sort of a funky little thing there. For me, I don't personally care all that much. So what I'll probably end up doing here is trying to just rub some stuff over there to try and polish that up as best as possible. So I will probably start that with ceramic here, and then if I need to, I can go to some lapping films after that. Ceramic, really useful because I want to keep this absolutely as flat as possible, and it's going to mar the inside of it. You know what? I'm perfectly fine with that because, well, this is my knife, and I kind of want it to have a little bit better action. It's obviously not going to have the same kind of action like the Manix 2 is going to have, because it is always interfacing with a bit of stuff there, as a liner lock does. But I at least want it to, feel nice and smooth, at least like the Paramilitary 2 that I have going on here. And that one, especially like the last third, when I'm trying to close it here for the Manix, or for the Shaman here, really feels tight and funkiness. And seeing that phosphor bronze residue on there, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So I suppose we'll be back in a bit. You can see how ugly it ends up looking when I'm done with it. Alright, I'll be back in a minute. Hey, I'm back, and I've only been at it for a very, very short amount of time. But you can see here that these little reflective areas, as long as I can actually get that to capture on film, hopefully at least a little bit of that does. Yeah, you can especially see it right there. Those parts being a little bit more shiny, that's because they were actually not fully flat like the rest of it. This is very, very small little things there. That's like what lapping films are actually used for absolutely with a certain grain of or grit of things, just completely evening something out. Some computer enthusiasts will do that on the top integrated heat spreader of their processor. They can polish that and flatten it down so that they make better contact with the CPU cooler and stuff like that. And that's kind of what I'm ending up doing here, is just trying to flatten that out. It does look like the ceramic that I'm using for it, I can see the finish is just a little bit different, but it's nowhere near as hideous as I thought it was going to be. I do plan on doing the same thing to this side here. And I do plan on, essentially, I will clamp this into my little vise here this way, and that will also keep the liner, or the compression lock sort of thing, clamped down and out of the way so I can work at it. So, yeah, we'll give it a little bit of time, and I'll come back again and see what we got. Well, here we are. We're back, and I've basically done both sides. You can see that one did have some polishing kind of done on it, and I did go quite a bit on this guy, but didn't really seem to raise so much of any shiny spots. But, of course, you can see this one is marred up just a little bit more than the others, but it was also satin there. And, yeah, you can see I definitely pulled some steel off. But very, very little, so as to not really mess up much in the way of tolerances, at least hopefully. Okay, so yeah, and also, happy reunion story. I got the other screw that yeeted off in the last clip, so I can fully put this thing back together, no problems. So, to do that, let's see. I think I want to, I'll start with the lock side here. It always looks backwards from a liner lock. I mean, even the way these scales kind of bend, to me, just a little bit kind of look like that. But, okay. Let's see. Before, or I didn't actually capture that, but I did polish these guys up on my strap. Essentially, I can tell if there's a burr on any of these kind of washers by, you can kind of move it around in a circle on any mouse pad kind of material like that. And you can very easily feel if anything's grabbing. And so I did that, just to increase my chances, maybe just a little tiny bit of making this work. So toss on just a little tiny bit. So these Spyderco things are actually interesting, as the way that they deal with them in these pivots is it goes on top of the washer and pins them down on both sides, so the washers won't ever move. It's just, I don't know, it's just a little strange and different and out there. Trying to make sure that keyed side is right, because I need it on this. Yes, there it is. Okay, keep that loose so I can make sure that I can actually turn the pivot. Punk. There we go. All right, and the blade. Might as well lubriciate just a little bit. Or apparently a whole lot of it. Oh well. So there's that. Probably, yeah, I do need to put the stop pin in there beforehand, and now I can engage that. And slap that little guy down there. I'm hoping I get some sort of improvement going on here. It helps if I actually had the backspacer in there. It's always something. You know what? I'm going to make myself just a little bit safer here and move the blade out while I try to screw in this backspacer. I have noticed also that this backspacer doesn't quite sit flush with that. That's just another thing. I suppose it's just a fit and finish thing in general. But, yeah, it is something that's noticeable and just a little frustrating. And it might kind of sound like, in general, I am fairly hard on Spyderco as a brand. But it's, I mean, I've had and used a lot of their knives for, you know, a couple of decades. And I really, really hold them in high regards. And it just kind of makes me sad when I see things that just aren't quite as good as they used to be, or at least used to be in my mind. Especially with more expensive knives than I had had in the past. Well, I don't have... Well, yeah, it's in there at least. So, that's okay. Let's get the other body screws back in there. And then we'll see if I can't adjust that and see if that actually helped anything. I hope so. Feels good right now, but yeah, the pivot is also incredibly loose. Just a little bit of wiggle. And I'm still there. I can feel a whole bunch of just funkiness or grindy kind of stuff going on. Especially, yeah, like I said, in that last third there. Not quite sure exactly. I mean, I can back these out just a little tiny bit. Obviously, I'm not going to have it fully rock solid as far as back and forth blade play goes. I still have just a little touch of it on the PM2, but that's only if I'm grabbing it and kind of wrenchy wiggly. Whereas this one, at this moment, yeah, it's much looser, and you know, that definitely shows, and the action feels about what I would expect, but it just feels too dang loose. And I still have a bit of blade play, more than the PM2 there, but I start to feel that grindiness, and the action just balls. So, Yeah, I'm not quite sure. It's possible that it's the flats on the blade rather than the liner side that might have a little bit of a burr or something like that. Certainly didn't feel it, but yeah, I can try and revisit that. But yeah, at the moment, I kind of need to go and do some work. But yeah, in the meantime, I just wanted to kind of show this backspacer here. Not really flush with the micarta. You can see it's got a lip on both sides, so it's a little bit under. And then, and this makes sense to me at least, the blade is proud of the liners and the scales there, but that's to let you have a little bit more positive interfacing with the jimping that's back here. Obviously, up above the scales, not a problem, but hey, so I do kind of at least understand the reasoning behind that one. But yeah, I suppose to be continued. Maybe I can figure out something else as to how to make that a little bit better. I don't know. All right. Well, I suppose I'll compile this all together at some point, hopefully when I actually figure all the rest of it out. So catch you then.